Wherever you feel my voice is not clear, please let me know in the chat box. Sitting in a poor network zone. Maybe you may encounter a little bit here and there, but mostly it should be okay. Okay, let's start. Good evening once again, everyone, on this auspicious occasion of Guru Purnima. And this is session number 2. Allow me to share my screen so that we can begin the proceedings for the evening. Can you see my screen now? Give me okay in the chat box if you can see my screen. Thank you. Thank you, Dagash. Okay, great. So welcome to part 2 of the Pain Point series, season 2023. The Google Forms which we filled in June. Of course, we started this year a little early, and the Google Forms which we filled, uh, answering those. And of course, as usual, all my presentations always begin with thanking the Lord Almighty, who has given me much more than what I deserve. And of course, my biggest guru, my dad, although his name is always there in the finance presentations, it is not there here, but I always thank him duly from my heart since it is a clinical presentation. So I thank you, Dad, for being a constant source of inspiration for me always. This is my brief CV. You all are aware of it by now. I won't be spending time over here. So, happy Guru Purnima to all of you. And we are into topic number 2, part number 2 for the pain points. We had a 60-minute session, 60, 70-minute session in the morning. So this was the topic which was taken up in the past. In the morning, the first session at 7 a.m. today, wherein we started with part 1, just you can say recollecting what we have discussed so far. So wherein we discussed part 1 of the pain point series, and of course, I discussed about pain points that every one of us falls into the 1 to 9 category. Nobody can be in 0 or 10 category, which is absolutely impossible in a way. So the pain points are nothing but specific problems if we simply speak them. They can be grouped into several broader categories as they can be. We did it last year like this. We grouped them into different headings, but at that point of time, we took the pain point series only for the practice management group. This time we have it for the finance also, and finance pain points would be taken up separately. I already told in the morning, which I'll be telling again at the end of today's session. So this was again the division of the points where it can be the support pain points, financial pain points, productivity, process pain points, where it happens. And of course, the grouping may happen into different things. We started with a different kind of a setting. We have given you a Google form where we specifically asked you the city of practice which was needed for the tier. Somebody of you mentioned tier 1 and tier 2 only, number of years of practice, and of course the priority of pain point. It is high, moderate, or severe. So what we decided was we picked up the city and the priority of the pain point, the high one. We picked up from that. We started from that. Of course, these were the low, moderate, and high or severe category, or those were the high ones. So we discussed the first query from Surat, Gujarat, with about 9 pain points in there, and these are in the sequence of as they were received. No bias to anyone, no alphabetical, no classification otherwise, as they were received from first to last. So when I start this session, I'll be putting a tab of around 60 to 70 minutes or so, and we'll wind up close to you can say 9:15 or so. So these were the various pain points, 9 pain points in that first query number 1 from Surat, Gujarat. And then second query was from Indore, Madhya Pradesh regarding non-clinical work for women. The third was from Peringalathur, Tamil Nadu, regarding a receptionist. We discussed that problem. Then the fourth query was again a detailed one from Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, somebody in 12 years of profession. Some days they were falling to 5, and of course they were good patient conversion, but there were a few contentious points which I discussed in the morning in detail and in depth. Then one was again from a tier 3 city. The city name was not mentioned. The different kind of problems relating again the broad thing is the lack of patience, the bargaining, and of course, motivation, conversion, all those things. Then query number 6 was from a colleague in Nagpur, Maharashtra, who's into 16th year of practice. Of course, a few points were there. His skill set was good, but still was not getting conversions. I discussed quite a bit of detailing over there in the morning. And then the seventh number query was from Pune, Maharashtra. Second opinion, how to deal with that patient, or do the pamphlets work? What are the ways of social media marketing? We discussed all these pain points. So we discussed these 7 queries in detail, all the queries, one, two, three, whatever they had sent, even 9 queries of say queries were there. In that category. So let's begin evening session close to 8:15, 8:13 with pain point session number 2, part number 2. So welcome to this session number 2 with a bit of revision from part number 1. So the query number 8 is from Nyamati Taluka, Karnataka. The number 1 is total aversion towards the profession itself due to various reasons. See, I am a firm believer of the fact that if you develop some different sort of love towards the profession, it is not good for your overall productivity. You really need to be in love with your profession. You really need to love your profession to get the results that you want. Of course, if I give a third party example, it would be injustice or it would not be easier for you to relate. That is why I put myself in your shoes and try to give my own example. See, at this stage of my life, I'm having multiple sources of income from different ways. And predominant is my online coaching or offline coaching, which I'm doing it. It is almost parallel to what I am doing otherwise. So I could easily do it. I could easily adopt that only as my profession, but I still do 8 to 9 hours of clinical practice because I love this profession. I really don't know how I'll be able to separate myself from it. I've kept a bar till the age of 50. I'm 46 point something. I'll turn 47 in September. Uh, but I've kept a bar for that. Maybe at the age of 50, I want to retire at least half a day. I don't want to prolong because my back has been prone to injury in the past. So I don't want to prolong it beyond that. Whatever I'm living it is already a bonus period. Courtesy my back injury that happened in December 2003, I'm living you can say, a bonus life towards that. So it's a hard fought love for the profession which has kept me there. You can say 20 years down the line, I could not assume myself doing this clinical dentistry even after 8 years or even after 20 years at that point of time when the injury was diagnosed. So if you want to shift from the profession because of the reasons within the profession, I can properly understand. But if you are shifting because of the problems in the profession, then you need to remember that every problem has a solution. Drastically reduce footfall in the practice. Please analyze what are the reasons for that. Are the patients not getting satisfaction? Are the patient not getting the desired results? What is the general feedback from your patients? Try to find out the reasons. And trust me, whenever we feel that we are doing a good job, it's not always our perspective that matters. It's the patient's perspective that is gonna matter a big time. Then self-pity, good for nothing complex. I very strongly believe no individual is useless. In fact, all of us are used in the wrong way when we are considering ourselves good for nothing. So we are not useless, we are used in a wrong way. And the same applies for your staff and for your team also, which means that we all are born with something special in us. Each one of us is special in one way or the other. The only thing is to recognize that and harness that talent and utilize that. It may be dentistry related, it may be non-dentistry related, but how you can use it. For example, God has given you an excellent rate of time management. For example, how you can use that in a strong way in your practice. For example, God has given you a trait of good discipline. You have a no nonsense attitude. You can use that trait in your clinic to manage your clinic in a better way. So don't have self pity. Trust me, I always say, raise your left arm, do it like this, pat yourself in the back. The whole world is behind you to criticize you. If there is no one to praise you, to give you adulation, indulge in self adulation. Never indulge in self pity. It is not good for your self esteem. And when the self esteem falls off, it is very difficult to pick it up. Don't do that. Too much of documentation is scary both to patient and dentist. I would say you are in a happy place, I would say, because the Karnataka State Dental Council is one of the best in the country. The one council which actually cares for its members. It does the same via its patients. It gives, you can say, I remember I was in Andheri giving a lecture, 2-day workshop back in September 2019. Somebody showed me a notice of Karnataka State Dental Council, an advisory issued for the patients. Please sign a consent form with your dentist. It is good for you also and for your patient and for your doctor also. The State Dental Council issuing an advisory to the patient was a first for me. And trust me, guys, I showed that copy of notice to my State Dental Council, wherein at least out of 10 members, 6, 7 are my very good friends, and they did not care. So the Karnataka State Dental Council is actually the one which is caring a lot. Too much documentation is safe for you as well. It makes sure that you do not fall short on the medical, legal, or negligent part. You are safe on that account. Preoccupied mindset with respect to consent form. See, when till the time we keep considering our consent form as another piece of document, another piece of paper, we will continue to think that it is a bad thing. It is a heavy thing. It is a additional workload for us. But when we start comparing it, the consent form, to an extended conversation, which it is in fact an extended conversation with the patient to explain the patient verbally in detail what is to be done, how is to be done, what are the RBOs, risk, benefit, and options. You actually are on the safe ground to let the patient know what are they going to get and what are they in for. So once they know it, that they are in for it, they know every coverage, everything, then the consent just becomes a piece of paper or a documentary obligation for them. It is not an additional paper like Shashi Kapoor throwed in front of Amitabh Bachchan in movie Diwar. Bhai, ye form sign kar do. Please sign this form in Diwar movie. Don't do that to your patient. It is just an extended conversation. And if you don't know how to do it, learn it properly. I always say people who question me about consent form making is a proper science. Learn it properly. Wherever you go, see, we all have so many good dentists in our WhatsApp community itself who are doing excellent work. We just saw it recently through the scanner discussion only. And somebody who is indulging in that kind of dentistry is doing good dentistry, is doing very expensive work or getting good returns from your clinic. But having said that, there are other people also who are, you can say, tough to make their ends meet, which I know also. Many people message me in private also. But that is the way things go. There are all types of dentists. But if you have that big ticket money flowing into your clinic, you are at bigger risk. And if your pre-printed consent form is there, trust me, that is not going to save you in any court if anything goes wrong. So you need to respect the consent form. It's not a piece of paper. It is not a pre-printed form. It is not a thing that can be copy pasted. Consent is customized, informed consent form. You inform the patient everything. It is customized. And once it is customized, it means it is separate for each patient, which means that you need to make it fresh for every patient. And any debate, any doubt that you have in mind would be resolved by this only. Trust bond between dentist and patient is lost. To an extent, I believe that is true. But again, we have that God complex inside us where we are still living in 1985, 86. Yes, 40 years back, 30 or 37 years back. We believe that doctors are equal to God. You need to understand, ever since 1986 Consumer Protection Act came in 1986, we are service providers and our patient is a consumer. So you have been demoted from God to human 37 years back. So trust factor may be lost. There are colleagues who give a different opinion to, they don't agree to your given treatment plan, and then Google has its own version. All these three factors have played a role. But yes, if you are authentic and true to your profession, nothing is lost. I hope it answers your query. So query number 9 is from Pune, Maharashtra. Not able to maintain the schedule, appointments and new OPDs. The simple system is to identify how much time you're going to take for a procedure, measure that, and you decide who patient to treat. The very simple formula is treat or schedule as per the Pareto principle of 80-20. Most of you must be knowing the Pareto principle of 80-20, but for me, what it means is that 20% of your patients bring in 80% of your monthly money or your annual money. And the remaining 80% patients will bring 20% money. For example, you do 100 patients and you earn 1 lakh rupees, just presume for the sake of simplicity. Your 20 patients will bring you 80,000 rupees and your remaining 80 patients will give you 20,000 rupees. That is, in short, the Pareto principle of 80-20, which means you need to give a priority. I'll give an example here. For example, you have a crown and bridge or an implant patient walking in, and he wants an appointment day after. The patient is an old one, the medical history is clear, the consent part, he knows how to do about it. He wants, for example, today is Monday, he's turned up today, he wants an appointment for Wednesday. And in the morning, you see your schedule for Wednesday is already full. But you see at around 11 a.m. or so, there is one scaling scheduled or there is one extraction scheduled. You can simply fit that patient in there, requesting that patient to take another slot of choice. Now that extraction and oral prophylaxis or scaling is not going to give you the similar returns as a crown and bridge or an implant. It is known as smart scheduling, just fitting that patient from here. Now this is called as scheduling. Now another thing is you need to know yourself. I have a quote for like knowing thyself is a bigger art than knowing others. If you know how much work you can accomplish in one sitting, in one procedure, one for one patient and one procedure, you need to understand that. You don't give stereotype appointments in your clinic, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 noon. You don't go about that task haphazardly. Appointments can be different also, 9 to 9:30 maybe, 9:45 to 10:45, maybe 11. You decide which patient to sit in where. Maybe your receptionist can do it. Maybe your other team member who is taking care of the appointments can do it. That is where you have to know. But you should know which patient has to be scheduled in there. But the problem is sometimes we have that Cadbury laddu approach ad. Man mein laddu bhuta approach. That Cadbury laddu that comes. Don't have that approach. Don't try to slot in that patient in that slot where the scaling or the extraction patient is already scheduled. The extraction may get bloody. The scaling may get out of control sometimes. Majorly, it may not happen, but it may get out of control. So, what do you do in such a case? You actually are creating a stressful situation for yourself. Now, if I come to simplifying that part, appointments and new OPDs, you maintain a system of appointment and keeping the way that you every new OPD should know it. Okay, we are checking you today out of turn, taking an excuse me from your current patient on another chair, but please do come next time with an appointment. You won't have to wait. The simple rule says Margaret Sumption has given a phenomenon ASAP, not as soon as possible, but it is a different lingo. But yes, which means, of course, time are you going to take? And you can say see them and give them a long appointment as per the schedule, whereby it is conveyed to the patient also that you are taking care of them out of turn, but it won't happen the same next time. And all this system has to be scheduled. For example, you do a want to do a detailed consultation also next time. Give a slot, maybe at the end of the morning, in the afternoon, in the whatever way you work, and make it a point to give appropriate time. The problem comes where we want to start the treatment in the new OPD also in the same sitting, which is a big no for me, big red cross for me. Never ever start the treatment in first sitting, especially if it is a medium to big ticket case. You need to have the patient mindset. You need to know the patient needs, understand them. You need to, maybe if needed, medical investigations also. You need to have the consent part also. How can you even start in first sitting? All this is not possible in first sitting. Sometimes the patient may be having different medications. Sometimes the patient may be needing a medical opinion. How can you even start the treatment in first sitting? For this, you have to leave that insecurity of that patient going away. Once that security is there, once you know that that patient is not going, the patient is not going to be well, you can say is all yours. Then skeptical if I should rely on associate approach starts with the first patient. Sorry guys, I was disconnected for a moment. Sorry. Let me just
Hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Sorry, sitting in a very poor network zone. I'm on a vacation actually, so that is the reason. Never mind. So the query number 9B was skeptical if I should rely on associate or fresher dentist. So whenever we do this kind of mistake, we need to remember that the mistakes start with the hiring part first, whether we hire the right person or not. And if you hire the wrong person, or if you hire just based on what you believe is good for you, and without, you can say, relying on the credibility part, then you will always have the trust issues with them. Problem is that we hire based on Miss Universe, Miss World type questions. Are you hardworking? Yes, sir. Are you committed? Yes, sir. Are you willing to Miss World, Miss Universe type questions, where the participants are asked the same question every year? What would you do if you were crowned Miss Universe? And suddenly, if that person is from India or from any other Asian country, the accent changes to American accent. Oh, I will see this crown on my head as a responsibility. I'll make sure there is no hungry soul on the planet. I will see to it that all the children should get good food. I'll see to it that ozone layer is not depleted. भाई तेरे को ozone के spelling आते हैं? You can't stay without AC. All you need is a Yash Raj or a Karan Johar debut. That is what you need. So these are actually questions which will have stereotype answers. So if you have trust issues, hire on the base of credibility. The main factor in deciding that is the ask mindset, attitude, skill, and knowledge. You can upgrade skill or knowledge, but attitude is something how a person witnesses, or you can say sees himself. What is the true motive? What is the trait? What is the behavioral, you can say, possibility of that? So you have to hire based on ask. I've done a detailed session last 30th June, last mini day of education. We did this session almost a year back. That is still on YouTube. You can check out that. So how to do hiring, how to do firing, it is all based on that. Then struggling with the price war and bargaining. If you are doing quality work, you don't need to worry about this part. I am in 24th year and I still 24th year of my practice, and I still don't know what my neighbors charge. Sometimes a patient or two tells that he is charging at this price. Why are you charging more? I said, I don't mind. You can get it done from them. It's okay. I don't mind. But these are my charges. You are expensive. I just smile it off. Thank you. Thank you. Being expensive is not an abuse. So the simple answer is that I gave in the morning, as well as if you are providing enough value to the patient, then you should not worry. Then you should not worry if the patient says that you are expensive, because everybody has a price market in India, whether it is volume based, whether it is quality based, whether it is a niche factor, everybody sells. Take an example of Acer or Asus laptops. They have the price as their barrier. Entry point laptops, they also sell. Apple has a security feature or a unique feature as their, you can say, selection. They also sell. Then there are people like Dell, which rely on customization. You pick a processor, you pick a screen, you pick a speaker, you pick whatever you want. We'll make you a customized laptop. Of course, we charge a little more for that, but that's okay. That is their specialty. And all of them are doing well, which means everybody has a market. Trust me, bargaining is not an issue. I told you in the morning, जो गांव में he wants to go to urban, and जो urban वाला वो गांव में जाना चाहता है. Urban वाला बोलता है शहर से अच्छा, शहर में तो इतना रश हो गया, it's better to practice in the villages only. And the village guy says, my patients are not that worthy. I should shift to a city only. My talent is being wasted here. So the problem of plenty is there. there with everyone. Bargaining is not an issue as long as you have a specialty, niche, and a selling point. What is that thing that separates you from the crowd? If you are, you can say, specialist in something, people will somehow find a way to you some way or the other. But yes, you have to be visible also. You have to make public also aware of your specialized services, which you only can offer them. Query number 10 is from Surat, Gujarat again. Trust hospitals doing substandard treatment at very low cost, and many private practitioners also under some Rahat Dar Manav Seva banner do the same. How to deal with this? Patient only sees the treatment from price point of view, not all the patients, but majority of them. They don't understand the complexity of treatment, and we also fail to educate them, as most of them are uneducated. This kind of practices harms in two ways. First, lowering the charges. Second, substandard treatment, which eventually fail, and the patient trust also fails in the treatment. When they come to us, again, they believe in the kind of treatment of work and want only extraction. I know that is also positive in a sense that they will go for some sort of prosthesis, but again, they will visit some other clinic under banner of Manav Seva or like that, and thus the cycle goes on. I don't know this dentist, maybe it was not from a community member, maybe it was from some other group. But yes, I recently went to Surat for a lecture last month in May and 27th or 28th of May. I went there, and one of the organizing persons from the team made me aware of that this Manav Seva banner, which they are actually offering very low price treatments. But having said that, the solution lies in your problem itself. We also fail to educate them because most of them are uneducated. If you use the technical jargon, if you use technical language, you are not going down to their level to explain. You have to equate the tooth to a body organ, and you have to make them understand the value of it. And you have to equate the same mathematically. And you have to go down to their intellect to explain, and you can say not be very, very sophisticated in your knowledge or in your linguistic skills in the clinic. So lowering, I am not telling you to lower the skills, but everybody would have its market. You are talking of that one banner where majority patients get done. We have to understand that we have 60 to 70% similar kind of patients in India who are not getting any kind of treatment done. This Manav Seva banner may be for them, but there are another 20% in the country which are deserving or which are, say, willing to get the treatment done. And we always talk of saturation. 3 lakh dentists, official number of DCI, 3 lakh registered dentists. Out of them, 40-30% are not practicing. So, paune 2 lakh, paune 2 lakh, maybe 2 lakh, 2 lakh against 150 crores. And we bloody talk of saturation. Shame on us. I'll say shame on us. 2 lakh against 150 crore. You will still say, okay, 70% is rural India. So what? 30% is what? 50 crores. 2 lakhs against 30 crores or 50 crores. Is it still less? The problem is that we don't create enough awareness. Why? What will happen if you have times? But it does not mean that you go into that mode where you try to dishearten yourself or the patient. Explain them. Spend time with the patient. I remember in my beginning, first 2 years of practice, I was in a 10/7 clinic at the backyard of my house. Clinic opened shock ke liye, just as a hobby because I was free in the evening. Yes, clinics used to happen in those times. I started on 1st Jan 2000. I remember there is a very, you can say, poor community area called as a village Snehat in near my house, about half a kilometer. And there is a lot of population which is BPL and lives there. I did one root canal for an individual, explaining him. He had come for extraction. At that point of time in year 2000, I was charging around 800 or 700 or so. Around 250 or 300 for a composite filling at that time, 24 years back. And trust me, that one root canal to explain that, I'd spent a good amount of time explaining that. That one root canal gave me at least 100 root canals in the next 2 years from the same area, from the same set of poor people. When the patients are explained 1, 2, 3, 4, it might not, but the rest will understand. And it is just a chain process. But the thing is, your work should be good. You need to equate that. Somehow we get very technical when doing these things. We try to explain, as was the first query in the morning in 1A. I'm using a root, patients don't understand root canal and bioceramic sealer. But to hell with that, yaar. Root canals were lasting when eugenol was also used as a sealer. Now, I'm not, as I said in the morning, I'm not saying shift to eugenol. What I'm trying to say is you may be using a typical set of materials which suit you, which suit your compatibility. I'm perfectly okay with that, what you are using. But explain the same to the patient. The patient has come with pain. He needs a relief from pain, not your technicalities of a resin sealer, non-eugenol sealer or a bioceramic sealer. He's not interested in those technicalities. We try to go in the technical way. तो इतना है, तो ऐसा पड़ेगा, तो महंगा पड़ेगा. We try to dictate those terms. Our way of selling is absolutely bullshit. That is where the problems happen when you don't get conversions. You don't have to equate that. You don't have to calculate it that ways. Keep a lower end procedure where I'm not saying use substandard procedure. Maybe use a non-eugenol based sealer only, which is comparatively less costly. Maybe shift to a manual root canal in such patients. That's okay if you're using rotary root canals. That's okay. Before doing rotary, you were doing manual root canals for so long, especially if you are into 10-15 years of practice. Develop an alternate way of treatment in such patients. And it is not an alternate way. Till 10 years back, it was the main way of treatment. Who was doing rotary 10 years back fully? Now people say manual root canal is shit. Manual root canal is not to be done. Similar to Maruti 800 is bullshit. 800 Alto is bullshit. 15 साल 20 साल पहले वही चलती थी. With time change, comfort and luxury comes into space and we forget the basics. If such a patient comes, develop an alternate module for that. Why that rigidity? Now we upgraded. We will not be using that. If you don't want your patient to go away, develop that alternate module. Who tells you to stick to that? And work out your costing based on that and charge accordingly in such a patient. That's okay. You don't have to say a ghatiya root canal and a badhiya root canal. Explain it. There are two ways of treatment, different materials used in both. How long lasting? Maybe this is a little more long lasting. This is less long lasting. Give them options, give them a way of working. It is we who don't make things happen. We always try to equate it because I have upgraded. Now I will never downgrade. This is not downgrading. This is creating an alternative line, to put it very simply. The rest is your choice. People will always have a choice. Whenever you give them these things, they will continue to do it. You have to create awareness. Is it people are not aware? People are not educated. Who do you expect them to educate? Google? Google is already educating them. Sometimes in a wrong way, sometimes in a good way. People search it. Average price of zirconia. They come across 13 to 15,000 and we are bloody charging 6,000-7,000 for a zirconia. Who's to blame them? Google is charging them, telling them on the right path. We do the reverse. And then people say our clinics are not profitable. Who's to blame for that? You. People are not aware. People are not educated. Who's to make them aware? You. Whenever you pinpoint a finger at someone, 3 are pointing at you. Remember that. I told you in the morning, I'm going to throw 2 bombs at you. Whether you like it or not. You like my mindset, accept it. Accept the solution I'm giving you. If you don't like the mindset, my mindset or my solutions, I'm pretty much okay with it. I'm happy with it. I'm giving my viewpoint, and that is an unbiased one. Okay. Many patients want to undergo treatment, but as they belong to lower middle class, they are unable to finance their treatment. They don't want to take loan. What can be done for them? I already told you. But to tell you very simply, lower middle class is one of the best paying classes. They'll never cheat on you. They'll have the reservations about sometimes getting an expensive treatment done, but for the need-based treatment, they will always figure out a way. They will always figure out a way. It is we the more you can say able guys or more enabled guys who are not able to do that, but they'll figure out a way. I remember one of the colleagues asking me this question long time back. Sir, I'm doing a root canal and a crown. My average charges are 9 to 10,000 with a you can say good root canal rotary done and maybe a PFM crown done from a good branded lab, 8 to 9 to 10,000 rupees. Now, as the patient is about to leave, you have told them 3-4 cavities which are almost root canals or need a similar kind of treatment. Now, if I give them the budget, their budget would be around about 30-35,000. Sir, that patient is earning 25,000 only. How can even I give him that budget? Said you create a need. They'll figure out a way. वो डाका डाले चोरी करे उनकी problem है. Because people will feel bad. डॉक्टर के पास इतनी सिटिंग दिया मैंने, but the doctor did not tell me कि मेरे और भी दांतों में सेम करने वाला है treatment. That I visited doctor so many times, there was so many similar kind of teeth. Why was I not made aware of this thing? Whether I want to get it done or not is a separate question. But why was not I told? That is, there lies the answer for you. Many doctors do free consultation and x-rays. So patients when visiting us demand free consultation and x-ray. How to deal with them? The simple thing is have printed in your waiting area. Consultation fee is this much. If you don't have a receptionist, have that printed. If you have a receptionist, tell the receptionist to convey the charges first. Let them be filtered out at the first step. The problem with us is that we tend to believe that whosoever walks in our clinic is our patient. I'm sorry, that is a wrong attitude. An adult conversion ratio anyways is 7.2 out of 10. If you tend to still believe that जो आ गया कुछ तो देके जाए, this is not अंदाज अपना अपना where crime master Gogoi saying आया हूं कुछ तो लेकर ही जाऊंगा. It's not that. It is not a Bollywood film. Be realistic. If the patient wants to be filtered at the first step, trust me, I have a very simple ideology. If a patient can't afford my consultation fees, he can't afford me also. I don't want such a patient. That's okay. I can't please all. If the patient says देखने के भी पैसे लगेंगे, yes, देखने के भी पैसे लगेंगे. बात करना हमने तुझे पूछना था, पूछने के भी पैसे लगेंगे. No problem. I'll make up a mind whether to pay or not. Their choice. If they are filtered at the first step, best of luck. Best of luck or good luck for you. Don't want such patients. I hope you get your answer. Too much competition. DCI website till a month back said 2,95,000 dentists. This month it was up. I gave you some time back. About 60 to 70% are practicing, but at 20%. All of them are doing private practice. 2 lakh against class, 1/3, 30%, 25%, close to 45-50 crore. 2 lakh against 50 crore. Sorry, your mathematics is really, really bad. You need to correct that. Need to correct that. अर्बन रूरल डिवाइड मत देना, मैंने वो निकाल दिया अर्बन रूरल. और इस 2 लाख में रूरल डेंटिस्ट भी इंक्लूड कर लिए जो आपके सिटी वाले पेशेंट्स को कम्पीट कर रहे हैं. Don't do that. Don't fool yourself with such a mentality. There is too much of competition. When there are 1,000 people in your area doing the same profession, that's when you call it competition. Have you seen markets, cloth market, cycle, doing the same stuff, selling the same stuff, and they're still living happily. And when we have 10 or 20 people in our area, not even equidistant, about some distance apart, hey, itna competition, main to mar gaya, patient mar gaya. What the hell is this? The markets don't complain. They enjoy the can say business together. They have their meetings. We divided. Let's cross to में 3 But nobody is listening. Or am I not audible? Ask me how in the chat box.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Okay. So I said whenever we are graduating, if we divide our process into two: complete denture, removable partial denture, fixed partial denture, it makes 3 subjects, maybe occlusion also somewhat, 4 subjects. Last I can say calculated, it was 23 subjects that we all graduated in final year. But every dentist graduates with not 23 but 25 subjects. Ask me how in the chat box. Now is it audible? The 2 subjects that we are getting free of cost as a bonus, J and BB, subject jealousy and backbiting. These are subjects we come across as a bonus. And in the end, we forget 23, we remember only 2. We don't even talk to our neighboring dentist. We're not friends with our neighboring dentist. I've given this example many times. All my neighboring dentists are in my WhatsApp community, except one. Now, we don't have a fight with him, but he's antisocial. वो किसी से mix नहीं होता है. But that's okay. The rest are in my WhatsApp community. What more example do you need? We all can survive happily together. There was a fight a long time back कि मेरी मूवी आ रही है इस मूवी को इस पिक्चर इस डेट को. Why are you releasing your movie on this date? Then the multiplexes came in. Then the multiplexes market grew. Now there is potential. Pathan showed us there is a potential of 65 to 70 crore which can be earned in Indian box office in one day. 65 to 70 crores. And there are so many movies. Is it not audible for Kalpesh or is it for everyone? Can you guys hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So when the market grew, we need to understand that movies started releasing 2 also in a holiday. Then the problem was there. Then there was no problem. Multiple films were releasing on the same day. Nowadays, many movies don't even get a lifetime of 50 crore. Forget a one-day collection of 65 to 70 crores. Okay. Lots of difference in prices. There will always be difference in quality. There is always be difference in pricing. Your pricing, whatever it is, decides that. Decides that. No standardization. That is a fault. We are not taught. That is where it creates a bigger issue. Backbiting by other dentists. Talk to them. Where lies the problem? Why don't you want to medical store? See, when we don't create the need enough, the patients will done from there. You have to create the need more effectively. No consent form signing as a routine. Now, that is not a pain point. That is your problem. Learn to make a consent form. There is no printed consent form. There is no pre-made consent form. Every consent form is a customized one. And of course, everyone should be aware it is a customized informed consent. Then query number 12 from tier 2, City of India. Many times I feel great difficulty in explaining importance of treatment to patient. I should be able to explain it in such a way that they should feel importance and urgency of doing it. However, many times I fail in it. You're doing sales by default. Learn to do sales by design. Learn this is not your problem. This is a learnable skill. Make that as a learning goal to learn communication. Make that as a learning goal to learn how to sell. Selling is an art and underlies the need of understanding the patient's needs, exploring that by asking meaningful questions. Once you ask meaningful questions, you are able to uncover those needs a great deal. I have not incorporated informed consent in practice. I fear patients may take it negatively. If it is your fear, why don't you try it and get over this fear? Why don't you try and get over this fear? I've already answered it in a recent question that consent is an extended communication due to which your form becomes a procedural formality only. It is a full science. Learn it properly. Don't just copy paste the form. Nothing beyond that. Though I have standard protocol for treatment payments by every patient, however, get stressed to explain same to friends, doctors, and colleagues whenever they have turned as patients. Never take leniency in any of the SOPs that you do in your practice for any known patients, especially. A rule is a rule and has to be followed. A policy is flexible and can be changed, which means your policy is, for example, that you take 50% advance. Now, that policy can be flexible for our friends, doctors, or colleagues. Can be taken later on. But for example, a rule is consent of a friend that has no exception. So learn to differentiate between a rule and a policy. You should be flexible with the policy, stringent with the rules. Query number 13 from Trivandrum Tier 3. Well, last I heard, Trivandrum city of Thiruvananthapuram was the top two tier 2 cities in India. It's not tier 3 Trivandrum. If you're situated to maybe a rural area close to Trivandrum, probably that might be okay. I take that. So internal marketing, I guess I'm doing right. Okay, that's great. Looking for ways to do external marketing as of now only through social media. I explained in the morning, social media is the new currency of this digital world. It is your Aadhaar and PAN in this digital space. And if you are not on social media, if you're not marketing, you are actually going away, or you can say losing out on a big chunk of your patients, which can be sought through social media. Today, every search, 90% searches begin from phone, cell phone. So look out for those ways. My conversion rate is more than 100. I can convince to buy. That is good. I hope you are doing selling by scripting only. That is why you're getting a good conversion ratio. My problem is new patient walking in are too low, maybe one in a week, that too rare. Again, this problem may be attributed to your visibility. Maybe your visibility is less to your patients, to your prospects. I gave that example in the morning itself. Sometimes a patient appreciates you after good procedure. Doctor, where were you all this time? And then you realize, thank you God, किसी ने तो मेरी कदर डाली. Somebody at least realized my talent. Visible to me all these years. So you need to devise ways of marketing. Don't know what to do, not getting the right direction, don't have any issue in doing things for ethical marketing. The right direction is to start with paid, but parallelly have the organic base set up first. If you don't have any organic base in the form of blogs, in the form of videos, podcasts, maybe posters, educational tips on your social media handles, wherever your prospective patients are, or of course, doubled up by your testimonials, your Google reviews on your website. If you don't have that, then even paid ads would not work for you big time. You have to validate it with the same. I explained that in the morning in detail. You have to validate that. The patient should get a validation that yes, I found him organically also. This doctor is good. He's spreading good amount of awareness. So you need that. It is an unfortunate reality of the post-COVID world that we all have to live with it. Then query from Hingoli, Maharashtra. Patient is not convinced or not convincing. If the patient is not being convinced, then probably your ways of selling are not good. Maybe your ways of selling are old fashioned. Maybe you're not asking enough meaningful questions. Maybe you're not uncovering the need properly. Maybe you're not trying to understand what does the patient really want. What do you sell is not important. What is important is what do you want or what does the patient want. Convinced patient not follows treatment appointment. Now, the appointment system has to be worked out by you only explaining to the patient that you work on appointment basis and it is on them to realize the importance of that. If after so many years also you have not been able to follow the appointment, then you have not been persuasive enough to convince the patients about the way you work. Having said that, the problem may be lying in the fact that you may have been giving the appointments and still the patient would have been kept waiting. That is where I tell always keep a gap of 15 minutes in between your appointments. You may be having a big practice, you may be having an associate kind of practice. I'm talking to the patient that you are going to treat from your prescribed way of treatment. Do that. Query from Surat, Gujarat. A lot of queries from Gujarat, in fact, Surat. My clinic area is rented property surrounding of low to middle class people who can't afford high ticket treatments. And I can't change clinic location as real estate prices are out of my finances. I've done all required aesthetic and prosthetic dentistry courses, which helps to treat those complex treatments. The problem is that you are not creating enough awareness in your target group. If your target group is around close to you, low to middle class patients are one of the best paying patients. It is the high class patients or the upper middle class that are the pain in you know what. You treat in plan in such a way where you treat the one problem at a time, one side at a time, and then you shift on to that part. Maybe treat the more debilitating side first, maybe more devastated side first, so that the patient gets a hang of that side and it is like a test drive option. The patient uses this side, is very comfortable, and explain the patient that you'll be more comfortable when you get the other side done. Test it out, be comfortable, check it out, and plan for the other side fast. Because if you don't, if you keep using on this side, next time maybe have more attrition, maybe have more damage, and we may not be able to restore that as well. Explain it in a manner that the patient can relate to it and the patient understands. अगर मैं एक ही साइड ज्यादा यूज करता रहूंगा तो और डैमेज होगा और ये साइड उतनी देर में और खराब हो जाएगी. Then it will be a problem of plenty. इधर भी जाएंगे, इधर भी जाएंगे. Explain that in a way in the patient's language. That is what is creating the effective need. If it is a high ticket treatment, break it down. Break it down. Don't treat it like a FMR patient. Treat it like a partial FMR patient. I understand there might be sometimes a limitation when you have to do both the sides first. But that is where your clinical acumen comes in and you plan your cases in such a way. Do you think we all have it easy? We also do have to face some kind of problems with such patients, but that's okay. We treat one side first, get a hang of it, get the, you can say, the trust factor of the patient, and then the other side becomes a cakewalk for us. The thing is to treat those sides effectively, efficiency and with effectiveness. That is where you can pull the patient back to you for further future treatment. I hope it answers your query. And yes, be more visible to your prospective patients, knowing that yes, you carry the required skill and knowledge to treat their problems. If they find you as the solution to their problems, they will never look out for anywhere. See, every patient at the end of the day earns and wants to eat food in a good manner. It is us who complicate the things by explaining this, explaining that in a technical language. I explained to you in the root canal bioceramic example. We complicate the things. At the end of the day, patient is not interested in only aesthetics. They are primarily interested in function first. Aesthetics comes later. हाथी के दांत थोड़ा ना है, खाने के और दिखाने के और. They have to understand the function is important. Make the patient eat first. Technicality में फंसे रहते हैं हम लोग, ये कर लें वो कर लें. We even don't care about such things of the patient. We never try to step into the patient's shoes. Try doing that. You will feel a lot better. You'll feel a lot better, and your patient conversion ratio will also improve. I hope that answers your query. So query from Jamnagar, Gujarat, not getting enough pay as associate dentist. Probably you are not having that desired skill that makes you an indispensable part. I said this in morning also in one of the queries. Develop your trade to such an extent that you become an indispensable part. You become a master of at least one or two specialties. Leave aside 8 or 9 specialties that we have in dentistry. Pick out one or two that you want and go ahead. Retaining staff, receptionist, chairside assistant. If you're working as an associate dentist, I'm not sure why you asking for retaining staff. So, still to answer you, staff needs 4 things. It's not always the financial increment or the annual financial bonus. जो हम लगता है हम लोगों को कि हमने देके एहसान किया. The second thing that they need is skill updation, knowledge upgradation. They believe they are growing also in that ways. The third thing is respect and care. You are not abusive to them. You treat them with or handle them with love and care. And the fourth thing is you actually, you can say, balance their work and life. You don't unnecessarily exploit them by making them working full days on Sundays as well. Maybe part-time, maybe a couple of hours, maybe for a new staff member to train on few things which you can't do on the weekdays with the patients. Maybe you can call a new staff member for that purpose. But to do that in every patient and every Sunday, remember, work-life balance, and respect and care. These are 4 pillars of retaining staff. If not having even one of them, you are faltering somewhere. Now, having said that, when we talk of financial growth, we believe that if we are not increasing charges, we should not raise their charges also annually, which is wrong. If you did not increase your charges, it does not mean that they also don't deserve a hike. Life is getting expensive for everyone. Life is getting expensive for everyone, whether you want to believe it or not. If the life is getting expensive, they also deserve it, especially if they don't have any other source of income. Understand that. Then, not finding stable patient flow post-COVID. That is a brutal reality of this digital world. That post-COVID, many things have shifted online as well. It was not always about word of mouth. But yes, word of mouth worked, you can say, great deal pre-COVID. But post-COVID, the world has shrunk to different spaces, different parameters. You need to have an online presence equally incompetent to your offline presence. And if you are present offline, you need to be present online also, adding value in patient's life. And that is one thing I'll always appreciate, that each of us needs to be there on social media, adding value, educating the patients, making them aware of all those aspects. Query number 17, and one thing, I'm sorry. Okay. So query number 17 from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, bargaining. Again, query number 18 was also a similar one from Bhusawal district, Jalgaon, Maharashtra, bargaining. Now, bargaining is one aspect which people believe happens in every patient or most of the patients. The problem lies if you don't set the rules at the start. We add the patient treatment details in the consent form itself. the patient payment part also. We have a treatment approval form also in that regard. I've shared that in the WhatsApp community multiple times before this. So if you have a patient, you can say form, treatment approval form, and you can say a consent form mentioning all the treatments. There is no reason why the patient should bargain, especially if they signed with a witness over there. The problem comes when the patient feels less satisfied and does not derive as much value as he or she thought that they would before the start. That is where you are faltering. That you need to change. That I can't change for you. The simple answer is you need to understand where you are lacking, where you are not good enough, and that is where you make a shift in that regard. Update that skill and then be confident of selling it. The problem with bargaining happens when we are not confident of selling also. There is a problem with the selling part, there is a problem with the confidence part also, and there is a problem with skill part also. When all these three combine, it is a beautiful bumper combination. Not having the executive or the exquisite skill, I would say, not executive, sorry, exquisite skill, not having the confidence, not having the selling skill. If you lack these three, beautiful place to be in for bargaining to happen everywhere. And that is actually related to your query number B also, case conversion. If you don't have these three, you will have problems in your case conversion also. And if you can see, these are all related to it. But the fortunate thing is that all these three are learnable skills. All these three are learnable skills. Make that as a learning goal and develop your skill set in this regard. I hope that answers your query. So, maybe two more and then we will wind up for the day. So, query number 19 from Bhiwandi, Maharashtra. Colleague dentists, neighboring dentists are backbiting and bad mouthing over practice as soon as they get a chance, even if there is no problem with the treatment. They just have to say sometimes to entice the patient. For example, I was away for a holiday and the patient went to them for extraction. So unnecessarily, they were telling the patient that why did you get so costly zirconia? They have looted you, and still the tooth feels long and other shit. The problem is you should not journalize this thing that they are doing in every case. If every of your patient is going to your neighbor and coming back to you, then there is something seriously wrong with you and your patient also, not with the neighboring dentist. Understand my point? If every one of your patient is going to your neighboring dentist and coming back to you and complaining, then there is something seriously wrong with you in the satisfaction of the patient. Understand that shortcoming. Yes, they might have said this to 1, 2, 3 patients, and you are trying to journalize. That's okay. They're still bad mouthing. That doesn't take away from them. Talk it out openly to them. That if you have any problem, please tell me. Please don't backbite it. Let's try to learn to face the situation rather than avoiding it. We all make mistakes. We are all humans. But let's try changing this. Don't talk on phone. Go to the clinic at any odd hour. Of course, early in the morning or maybe late in the night, after just about when the clinic is about to end. Go to them. I'm here to just request you to please let's not say anything bad about our work to our patients. Whatever patient comes to us because of our work, because of our credibility, because of our goodwill. If I say something bad about you, you say something bad about me, we are neighbors. We should not be doing that. Face this, talk it out to him. That is the best solution I can give you. And if that colleague still does that, then it's his problem. Then it's his problem. Maybe once more you can talk it out, but that's his problem then. Sorry. Okay. Same query, B part. Patients not following schedule and then showing up at unexpected times and creating a scene. This also leads to unwanted waiting and time lost for me also and wasted a good amount of time. That means you have not been persuasive enough to create the appointment system in the patient's mind that we treat only on appointments. Please don't come without a turn, without an appointment. Please don't embarrass us by turning up on odd hours. हर स्टाफ मेंबर को ट्रेन करो इसमें बोलने के लिए. If you can't still convey it, then make them understand. Your time is precious, my time is also precious. Let's not waste it. Let's take a prior appointment. Having said that, when you give an appointment, don't make anyone wait more than 5 to 7 to 10 minutes. 5, 7, 10 minutes, nobody minds. Beyond that, everybody will mind. Yes, there will be occasional cases when the cases go unplanned and the timing goes haywire. That happens with everyone once in a while. That's okay. Once or twice, everyone will understand. If this is a regular feature, nobody will understand. If you are trying, I gave that example right at the start. You have a scaling extraction patient, you're trying to squeeze in another patient. Sometimes we do it. And on top of that, let's suppose in that situation, a new OPD also comes in. Problem of plenty. Not able to treat anyone, not able to treat everyone. That is a bad problem to have. Multiple treatable patients at the same time in clinic, not a good thing. Don't have it. Then query from Srinagar J&K, last query for the day. Not able to get high ticket patients. The problem is it all starts from small ticket or medium ticket patients. If your patients are not happy with your small ticket work, they will not refer you high ticket or medium ticket. Then vice versa, the problem can be at your end also. Selling part, confidence part, skill part, which you have mentioned in point B as well. Want to upgrade my skills in prosthodontics but confused what to do from where to do. A lot of institutions offer variety of courses, confused what to choose. Now, institutions hardly offer any courses. Institutions offer only PG, MDS, or maybe a couple of PG diplomas. That's it. Otherwise, there are private academies, there are private institutions, or you can say private clinicians who are offering these courses. Many times we don't upgrade thinking the course should be expensive. Even if we learn 2 or 3 things from one course where we spend in 15, 20, 25,000 rupees, for example, that is recoverable easily from 1 or 2 patients. And then we keep on waiting. We keep on waiting for that one perfect guy in our life who will come, जिसके गले में हम वरमाला डालेंगे. There will never be a perfect guy. There will never be a perfect person to teach you everything. You'll teach one thing from one thing from another. Nobody is perfect in everything. Even if you have to do 2 kinds of prostho courses, you learn occlusion from one, you learn FMR from another. That's okay. It may be your luck that person is teaching both the aspects. But maybe one of them is master in one part, one of them is master in another part. So pick out that. Whatever you want to learn, make that as a learning goal. Frankly speaking, a high ticket will always involve a prosthesis. And whenever there is a prosthesis involved, there is prosthodontics involved. And you are admitting that you are maybe wanting to upgrade. The better word would be you're lacking in the desired high-end skills for prosthodontics. And probably that's you can say short sells you from or stops you from you can say fully selling yourself. You're short selling yourself in that regard on confidence level, skill level, and sales level. So don't be confused. Perfection is a myth, my dear friend. Progress is the key. Small effort each day makes a lot of difference. If you don't want to start with any clinician, start with YouTube, start with Google. There are a lot many free things which you can learn, even in prosthodontics. You can learn. स्टार्ट ही करना है ना, आपको स्टार्ट से प्रॉब्लम है. मार्केटिंग में, सेलिंग में, लाइफ में 2 ही प्रॉब्लम सबसे बड़ी होती हैं. स्टार्ट एंड कंसिस्टेंसी. One who develops it knows it. All of you know that I have taken a 3-month break from FB Group PhD also. I keep on taking it. पहले मैंने ऑफलाइन से ब्रेक लिया, अब ऑनलाइन रिज्यूम होंगी, ऑफलाइन से ब्रेक आ जाएगी. FB PhD, I can't handle everything. WhatsApp has been already delegated to 2 able deputies of mine, Rajat and Raghu. Of course, I'm there at the back end to answer wherever I need to, but I can't handle everything on that front. So I don't fulfill those promises. But having said that, not there in the FB group, it will not mean that my YouTube videos will not come. I've already scheduled. I was posting one video every Wednesday. For the next 3.5 months or 4 months, you will get a video every Wednesday and Saturday. And they're already there posted on it. I'm just need to change the headings and the dates only. They're already there posted on the YouTube channel for the next 4 months. The consistency will be even better than before. You got a short video, now you get a webinar kind of a video in you can say 2 in 1 week in that regard. So think about it. The start and the consistency are the key. I'm giving you the room to start with Google, start with YouTube, but then make it a consistent habit. Never ever believe that everything would be available for free on YouTube. कोई भी इतना पागल नहीं होता कि अपनी सारी स्किल्स YouTube पे सब कुछ बता दे. People have that. Many people ask me this question, sir, आपने सारा कुछ तो library and YouTube, and that is not even 10% of what I normally do in my paid workshops. Then lack of proper lab technician, processes from the lab aren't up to the standard mark. Again, your problem is related to point number A and B itself. Again, please don't take me otherwise. If your skills may be lacking, you may not be able to judge between a good and a bad work, or a good and a better work. Yes, we all may be able to still judge between a good and a bad work. Maybe these days there are a lot many things which are happening digitally. A scanner is one of that examples. We had the discussion in the community a couple of days back only, which means so many people are using scanner in our own community as well. Which means if you want to upgrade your prosthodontic skills, add to that scanner also. Reputed lab and get the work back in 2 to 3 days. 2 to 3, maybe 2 to 4 days, 5 days max. You're in J&K probably. It'll take max 5 days. There are direct flights to Srinagar also. Couriers arrive by air also. That's okay. It will charge you maybe 200, 300 rupees extra. But that's okay. You can add that in the patient cost. Upgrade your skills, add scanner to your practice, get it from a good lab. Your problems are already solved. And I think with this, let's call it a day. It's almost more than an hour. So whatever queries are left, we'll plan some session another day very soon. But just to make you all aware, of course, I'll try to answer all the queries, or if those who are not answered, which ones are not answered by me, will be answered by Rajat and Raghu in the practice management group. But what exactly is there, what is coming up for you? And before I wind up, let me just give you a few announcements. You know about PhD group. Of course, there is a 3-month break for me. Been a part of WhatsApp community. Send it across to your friends who want to be added there. You know it. It is a community 5.5 years into this. It is an advertisement-free one. And YouTube, I gave you already. The content for 4 months is already loaded over there. Yes, a little bit of arrangement I have to do that I will do probably in the weekend only. And my social media presence is on my name only, Dr. Bhavdeep. Of course, do post your takeaways from morning and evening. Whosoever attended in morning, whosoever attended in evening. Please post your takeaways, not feedback. If you want to post feedback, it's okay. But post your takeaways for your colleagues who could not attend. Maybe they can be benefited from your feedback. And this is coming up for you. Next month, the day of education, we are coming up with financial pain points series. The problem that you posted in the finance pain points. Some of you had you can say a merging of the forms. We'll try to segregate those and place it at an opportune place. But this will be absolutely, because it is my dad's day, so it will be concerning finance pain points only. The problem related to investment, the problem related to clinical finance, personal finance, we'll be taking care of that. And those sessions happen 7 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Not 3 p.m., 7 a.m., 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. 1 hour session each. Registration links will be up very soon, just like this one with the QR code and the Bitly link, they'll be there. So whenever they are there, block your date. It is a Saturday, 12th of August. So block that. So I'll stop my share for questions. And of course, firstly, I'll take up the questions from the chat box. In the meantime, I'll be unmuting you. So, yes, I have a couple of queries. Yes, Dr. Swati says, I do what you're saying when patient bargains, but patient leaves, then overthinking takes in how to make clinic more profitable. The thing is that you need to understand that not every time every patient will get a conversion. 7.2 out of 10 is good one. But if that happens regularly, probably there is something wrong with your conversion part, probably something wrong with your communication part, probably something wrong with the patient understanding part also. To understand that part very clearly, and of course, that is the key towards effective selling and effective conversion as well. So don't get, or we can say, overwhelmed by this, because this is part of life. Sales, the common, we can say, ideology we follow is some will say yes, some will say no. So what? Who's next? That should be the ideology. So don't bother about that part. Okay. Dr. Chetan Roth says, I have some queries. My receptionist is 2 years old. Earlier, she used to come on time, but now she's coming late day by day. Problem is, she's good in all the things, but this late coming is hurting me. What should I do? Whether fire her or cut her payment? See, this is not a trait which is associated with her, which is associated with her working ability. Punctuality is something, maybe she may be having an inherent problem which she has not shared with you. So share it, ask her openly in one-to-one situation, take a feedback, that you give a sandwich kind of a feedback. You have been one of the most wonderful employees of our clinic, and you have been exemplary in your work skills. I always give example of yours. But since the past few days, I have been finding that you are not coming on time. Although you're doing your duties very perfectly, but I'm feeling that are we wrong somewhere, that we are not doing it. I'm sure that together we can solve this. This is an example of a sandwich feedback where you say the good, say the bad, and maybe cheese it up, maybe cover it up with another good or a medium one. You try to do that. Talk it out. Just because she's coming late, but she's otherwise good in skills, you should not fire her. Ask her before cutting her payment. And he says, "मैं तो late." I told you three things: attitude, skill, and knowledge. Skill and knowledge can be upgraded, which can lead to better work output. But attitude, if somebody replies, "मैं काम तो पूरा कर रही हूँ ना, मैं late आऊंगी, तुम्हें जो करना कर लो, जो उखाड़ना उखाड़ लो." That is a serious attitude problem. I'm sure she won't reply in that way, but I'm just giving you the worst case scenario. If somebody says that, you need to realize that somewhere something is wrong. Try to get to the root of the problem. Try to find out the immediate cause. Maybe that will give you out a solution. Maybe she's having a family problem. Maybe someone is not well at home. Maybe she needs to drop someone doctor every other day. Try finding out the root cause. People maybe they may not be genuinely open to share their problems. Understand that. Try to get into their shoes. Once you get into their shoes, you will understand the problems. I own single chair practice, but sometimes a patient walks in while I'm doing a appointed patient. I get conscious in such situation. The first thing is I always advise everyone have a two-chair setup minimum, so that even somebody walks in, you can take an excuse me from the patient. It may be an emergency also sometimes. So sometimes you don't want to disturb the sterilization protocol. Everything stays there. Just change the gloves and maybe attend on to other patient. Maybe this patient also needs a break sometime. Take an excuse me from this patient, attend to that patient if it is an emergency or if it is an otherwise thing. So rather than getting conscious, make space for getting a second chair. That is a practical and a viable solution rather than educating your patients about scheduling appointment. Yes, that is a part and parcel, but a second chair is anyways a must. Anyways a must. Create space for it. That is the only thing I can say. So my nearby pharmacist is not giving medicines. Let me just check. Not giving medicines whenever my patients go to him, but whenever because they generally don't prescribe drugs until indicated. The store owner just says it is not available, and this has happened with 4 to 5 patients. I'm not sure what is the problem and what should I do. So that's okay. Again, the solution lies in talking out. Talk it out to them. What is the problem? Where does the problem lie? Why is the medicine not available? Probably he'll say, "आप लिखते नहीं इतना तो मैंने मंगवा के नहीं रखी." Maybe you can help him out. Okay, whenever the medicine is not available, please give a substitute from a good company. You can tell the options, whichever he has. You can adjust him accordingly. But whenever you have, you can say, are consistently sending the same to the patient, or sending the same medicine to that patient, make sure that the patient gets the medicine. And of course, it is a two-way traffic. You have to be nice to the chemist and they have to be kind, because both of us, maybe not you, but he survives because of people like us only. We write the medicines and he sells those, and that is the case scenario. Probably if you're not sending the patients regularly, or maybe your patients are going to any other chemist, that is the reason he has not kept that medicine. So talk it out one to one, maybe find out the solution. Where lies the problem? I hope it answers your problem. Okay, thank you, Dr. Aarti. Thank you, Dr. Ramchandra. Thank you, Dr. Divya. Thank you, Dr. Puneet. Thank you, Dr. Swati. Thank you, Dr. Vikram. Thank you, Dr. Geetika. Thank you, Vikram. Happy Guru Purnima. Thank you, Dr. Bhavna. Thank you, Dr. Parul. Thank you, Dr. Dipali. Thank you, Dr. Shravani. Thank you, Dr. Guru Raj. It's always a pleasure. Thank you, Dr. Dhagash. Yes, we all learn from each other. Don't need to commit all the mistakes ourselves. Life is too short to commit to, so you can say, doing that. Thank you, Dr. Rakesh. Uh, Dr. Arun says, awareness method other than social media, please. Networking, BNI, camps, physically going to those places, Red Cross, Bhavan, schools. Education marketing is one of the best marketing. And that is precisely the model that I am following, to make colleagues aware of the problems. If you are not aware of the problems, it does not mean that they don't exist. Make them aware. Education marketing is one of the best marketing. So trust in the power of education. Dr. Abhijit says, I explain everything to patient. Patient understands well, they appreciate me, but they don't convey it to treatment most of the time. I answered this question in the morning, Dr. Abhijit. Probably they don't find, maybe the clinic interior is not good. Maybe your way of understanding or explaining not good. Maybe your staff something. Maybe somehow they feel, maybe some confidence is lacking. Maybe somehow you can say there may be multiple reasons. Look out for the reasons which are possible. Maybe take a feedback from them. Say, you came to us, why didn't you can say, why didn't you come back for the treatment? Ask it fair and square. Many people won't reply the direct answer to you, but some would. At least some will give you an indication of why didn't they get converted. We, because of, now I won't say ego, but because of sharam in our mind, sharam in our nature, we don't even ask. Shun that sharam. That is the way you can say grow better in that sense. Okay. If receptionists recall the patient for new treatment appointment, patient might think doctor is hungry about money. See, we are in this profession where we create the need, fulfill the need, and this is for mutual benefit. The patient gets relief from the problem, we get the money. It is a mutual benefit. It's not your benefit. If you think that the patient will think, understand, or here to my line again, if you think that you can say, if you think that your patient will think, do think already aage, will think about the doctor is hungry about money, then you might be thinking wrong. Develop that. I said in the morning, if you're doing same things, you will be getting same results. If you're saying nahi aaya to nahi aaya, dekha jayega. Ask it. बात करने से बात बनती है. We make mistakes. We have to overcome that. We all do that in personal life also. But as you age, as you grow in life, you have to make small little changes. It's okay. We all make mistakes. We are humans. We are not robots or androids. We'll make a mistake. Okay. So I have a Dr. Parul says, I have a query. I want to learn implants. Can I learn from Ostem? They are offering a 6-day course and a physio dispenser and Ostem kit with implants for 375 lakhs. See, Parul, you are situated in a good city. Tri-City always offers good amount of options to you. Panchkula, Mohali, and Chandigarh, there are a lot many options around you. I would say, you can say, concentrate more on training rather than going for the kit itself in the beginning. When you learn from the company is ready to provide you the support of the kit and the physio dispenser as well. They supported us also in the beginning. We bought a kit much late, but that's okay. If you want if you can spare the finances, go about that part. But the focus should not always be on that. Somebody would equate it, if you don't want to take implants or physio dispenser, even then the training would be 3.75 lakhs. That is a wrong approach to sell from the company end. Then get it done from someone else. Then get it done from someone who can teach you better with the knowledge, without the, you can say, forceful thing of offering or taking up the implants as a compulsory thing. For beginners, I don't advise a kit at the start. Again, that is my view. You are free to differ from that. Okay. So I hope it answers your question. Thank you, Dr. Smriti. Thank you, Dr. Surbhi. Happy Guru Purnima to you. Thank you, Dr. Padanya. Thank you, Dr. Mayank. Okay. Chetan says, so the chemist is nearby, gynac and pediatric. And for my prescriptions, he's saying go to him. He will give 5 tabs or 2 tabs. Can I ask it on WhatsApp group? Yes, ask it on WhatsApp group. Chetan, whatever queries are there, we'll be answering them. Don't worry. So I just placed it because sometimes these conversations are not available. Not available. So thank you, Dr. Abhijit. Thank you, Dr. Parul. Any more queries? Please unmute.
Sir, can I add something?
Yes, Divya, go on.
So, so this thing that you just mentioned, that we are shy to ask the patient what happened by, you consulted us for this issue and for this treatment, but you have not responded what happened. So recently I did this. I actually asked her, for the first time I did that, I actually collected some courage and I asked the patient what happened. And then the patient actually told me, honestly told me, that everything was fine, okay with the consultation, everything, and the explanation and everything, but he had some specific issue. That is when I realized, unknowingly, I created, when I was explaining the treatment to the patient, I somehow focused more on certain words, which made the patient feel.
I didn't listen to that. I created. I'm sorry, I missed that word.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
created
sir.
what?
So basically, what I did is, when I was explaining the treatment plan, I accidentally ended up stressing on certain words, which created a wrong impression for the patient. The patient ended up thinking that the treatment will take a lot of time, which was not the case. But the way I explained it, it sounded like it will take a lot of time. So something that will need less time, now in the patient's mind has become a treatment that will take more time. So, I realized I'm focusing and stressing on wrong words and sending a wrong message. Only because the patient was honest, I came to know that, I'm making a certain mistake during the consultation.
That is what the role rehearsal and role reversal does. You explain, you talk it out before a case. You can say plan for a case consultation, how you talk, how you handle objections, how you handle negotiations, how you handle bargaining. We take it by default. That is where the problem lies. Yeah, thank you. Anyone else with any query? Or we are done? So we are done. So thanks short because of the queries. But yes, a poor network was one of the reasons of getting disconnected. Apologies for that. But yes, I have been sitting in no network zone. Probably I was lucky to get away this far also. So thank you so much. And probably whatever queries are left, probably I'll inform you when and how they'll be answered. Most of them will be taken up in the group itself, but whatever are not, we'll be taking up in a webinar, maybe next month, maybe shortly. Next. Till the time we meet again, have a great day and happy Guru Purnima to you once again. And I request you all to post your takeaways once again in your respective WhatsApp group so that others can learn from us. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.